you have text on one layer and a piece of artwork on another layer, you could combine those two to make an interesting effect by going under Track Matte and selecting the text layer. And now you have a cool pattern happening in there. And you can add on to it an effect, Turbulent Displace. And I'll put that on the background layer. And set the evolution. Let me click here. I'll move forward in time. And I'll just turn it up like this. So you have some motion happening in the texture layer, or that could be applied to the whole comp. Let me remove it from here. And I'll pre-comp these two together. Layer, pre-compose. I'll apply Turbulent Displace to the outer layer. And you can instantly have warp type, but you could also animate this, evolution. You can have lots of fun this way if it matches your artwork. Now, something else that's very cool about text is the fact that you have the stroke as a separate layer here. So the stroke layer could be the one that has the texture applied to it. And you do that by just stacking up, let's say, both of these layers. This one will be, we'll just call it the solid text. And the solid text layer will not have a stroke on it. And going to the other layer, I made it red just to make it easier to see. Let me flip these two colors around, and for the solid, I'll remove that. Selecting the artwork, and I'll select the life layer, which is just the outline, and now I can take this solid text layer and put it beneath this border layer and turn it back on again. So you have a texture happening within the ridge of the text. Now, continuing this, you could pre-comp it all. Layer, pre-compose, just like I did with Displace, and find another effect. I'm choosing Roughen Edges, and I'm applying it to there, and that's a cool effect. You can play with the border, and all these effects can be animated, so you can have your text in reverse come up on screen like this. So starting out from this nowhere blob of things, it would look like the reassembly of this, and all you're doing is animating the keys in reverse. Let me just increase this a little bit, and we can see the other parameters. Sharpness, give it a little more ridges, or dullness, blurry, and the complexity. I'm going to reset this, and I'm going to play with the complexity. And that gives you more like a torn paper look. And decreasing complexity smooths out all those ridges, all those pixelated ridges. So increasing the edge sharpness and increasing the border like this. And back to complexity. Very low complexity, more intense. Experiment with various layers applied to your special effects, and experiment with applying effects or using the edges to texturize your text.